watching out for us. These things are not written there anymore, but we know it. That is the level of relationship, and that's what your school is building on, the goodwill between our two countries.
Talking about engineers, Dr. Hagen was the former president of the Ghana Institution of Engineers. They used to be around here.
Yeah, just have the street.
I have the street there. And, certainly, I'm sure you have some more collaboration.
You have a relationship with
the Nigerian Society of
Yes.
Engineers.
Are there any fellows?
Yes. I've attended about 3 of their annual general meetings.
Okay.
Abuja, Abuja, and Lagos.
You call the Abuja very perfect.
And just to add on to what the president said, one of the basis for our visit here is to show appreciation to what Nigerian students have done with regard to adding international color to our international flavor to our university. And since their entry, and they are still growing, it has also opened doors to more international borders. Like we have other students now coming in from Cameroon and other Central African countries. And we want to build on that. That is why we are bent on opening the facilitation offices in Port Harcourt and Lagos. And if there's any assistance that we require to first of all establish and run those offices, we will let you know.
We'll look out for you.
Thank you.
But I know your institution is of technology. Yes, every type of knowledge in any institution. That's what they call professors. You know everything about everything. No knowledge is restricted. I had organized as director of the Forest Academy in Nigeria some 3-4 years back. The conference on transmedia and the rest of it. And a lot of lectures were delivered. I made most of Global G. Foster's student from Hollywood University. We made these books, which I want to, if you permit me, as well because of the opinion.
That is okay.
No,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
It will enrich your library.
Fantastic.
This book has been a good research material for students of social sciences. They buy it a lot. So when I went to university,
Fantastic. So, you edited it? Yes. Fantastic. Thank you very much. We will certainly cherish. Okay, fantastic. Also, on our behalf, we want to give you our brochure. Okay, and it tells you a lot more about ourselves, our board of trustees, and people behind the AIT.
Thank you
very much. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Excuse me. I'll allow the minister and the head of administration, also a veteran of the Nigerian Foreign Service, to ask a few questions.
Fantastic. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
In addition to what I do here in the administrative field and my diplomatic debts, I also handle student issues. So, from time to time, I used to receive some complaints, not from your institutions actually, about pressures. The new students that come here, so many institutions have a lot of Nigerians. Sometimes they even used to send out brochures, and when they come and register and got admitted into the institutions in Nigeria, they were left alone to fight for accommodation and also resident permits. And many a times they, fell victims of somehow fraudsters or bad landlords. They will be lured to, pay a great sum of money to get accommodations in, and then the landlords will not agree to sign any documents with them. And the Nigerian students, because of what happens back home, because of trust with one another, or maybe certain faiths, they will just accept such kind of arrangements without emphasizing the need to have a documented agreement. So, small time the landlords will want to throw them away and give same accommodation to another person. And if the student raise an objection, they will just call police. And whenever they call the police, unfortunately, the police don't do their job. Just because they are not Ghanaians, just because they are Nigerians. When they come, they just carry them away or also extort some money from them. So I always insist that any student that comes around and wants to look for accommodation or he is offered any arrangement for accommodation, the person must insist to have a written documentation. And after having that written documentation, then we should also have a call. Anytime somebody wants to maybe test them out or use the police to, threaten them, then let us know so that we will tell the authorities this is what is happening. But unfortunately, I haven't received any such agreement here. I haven't received. But most of the time, they just take, into confidence whatever somebody tells them, like, okay, this arrangement is balance to it. So I wish it is possible. As managers of institutions, maybe when you have prayers, you assist them with facilities or documentation on how to acquire accommodation without any headache. And also the issue of resident funds, so that they should not be left alone to go and fight for it, go into certain arrangements, sometimes even in immigration office. So people expect a lot of them to get such things. Normally or naturally, once you give them letters that are genuine students, registered and well-known students, the immigration authorities should assist them without charging more money from them. Because as they come here, they benefit actually educationally. Also, your institutions and also other Ghanaians benefit from their presence. So I just want to know if you have any means or any arrangement for reduce this kind of problem, especially assisting them to get their visas or assist them to get cheaper accommodation in a secured, peaceful place. And also I want to ask you maybe to let the police know or any other person that hears in society that the fact that somebody is not a citizen is not always a criminal. I'm not just complaining because it's happening. Anytime there is a crime scene somewhere where students are renting, once the police come, all the foreigners who are Nigerian, they are out away. Not for nothing, because sometimes that in every society or in every organization we have the good side of us and we have the bad side of us. I'm not talking just of Nigerians, in all professions, including this. So we find out that once they identify people as Nigerians, they just take them away to the police station. So they have to get money and bear themselves. So please, if it's possible, maybe from time to time, as opinion leaders, as managers, as senior citizens, maybe the police should also be invited to police. Thank you very much. We will ask students to find accommodation through the Nigerian Student Association, which the president is giving around. Yes. So we liaise with them as a school, and then we follow what happens and the student take accommodation. But effective this semester, we have been already set up an international student unit that's going to take care of accommodation of our international students. Like the president said, we like that our numbers are growing. So we are actually talking about 3 people who are going to get fully as international students mission officers. So before the students even come here, we will find accommodation in the schools we manage. So students don't even go and hassle around looking for accommodation. So in about just about a month or two, accommodation problems are here. We get to know them. So that we are very much aware of. When it comes to resident permit, we also liaise with the association. Of course, we give the test. One of the things we do is that resident permit application letters are instant in our school. You don't even have to apply for it. You only have to fill a form.
most schools you have to apply, wait 1 week, 2 weeks. We wanted to reduce the bureaucracy, so we have now designed a simple form. It's not the field of form, it is printed, officer science. So a resident permit and let us receive the same day. And we liaise with the NSA resident to check whether those letters are been. Just last week I saw in my office who they have to call him quickly. And then the two of them, the president and the vice, quickly went to the immigration and they solved it. So resident permit and application issues, AIT is already on that I can show you. When it comes to police, we don't leave our students alone. In fact, yesterday, maybe my president has known, yesterday by 11 p.m., I was in the students with I was called around 10. One of our students at one of the hotels, trade fair, for seriously. They were told them to take it to the hospital. So we get the car. It was late, so I had to drive from the house. So I take it to the hospital and make sure. And even now, all of them to be there every day. So we have our students at heart. And that is why our students are so happy with us. Like I said, the whole department is set up to ensure their interests are what? Interested. So if a student has a policeman at any case, we take it upon ourselves. If any of our students get in police, all he does is to class. We go there, meaning the police about 3 times. Not for us to be bad. It's not about Nigerian students, because like I said, the landlord wants to cheat them. So we push the student right, and we be at the forefront. We go into just last 2 weeks, the counselor handled a case like that. A student who had paid how do you call it, accommodation fee, then the landlord, they pay for his rent. So he lodged in the guest house. They are paying for the guest house on daily basis, even though they have paid their rent for 2 years. And say because their room is not rent, let them pay for it. Let them some time. So we have to just put them. I don't give them money to us. Or we push them, even if it's not ready, they're ready to occupy our company. But the only thing outstanding was kitchen. The guys themselves said, you don't even cook. And we also guys. They say, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know, it's misunderstanding. What they push them in? You understand? So if all the schools are true, but we personally get involved, put all this protocol matter and establish departments to take care of them. That's just business. You cannot take that. So we are on top of these issues. I want to assure you that it's even going to get better as we our new side. So our students are really secure.
Sorry.
The local interview. I mean, happened to me when I was the CU and the big man also. But you have laws, and some of the basic schools, for example, there are several Nigerians. Maybe if you take arrange to have some meetings with them, the administration, to resolve one of things. Similar to the what is taking place now with us. If you arrange to talk with State Central, I'm sure there's several. Central University.
Yeah.
It's a huge university. I'm sure there are several Nigerians there. So if you talk to the administration, it will go a long way to resolve some of these. It's very important.
The dentist in the world. So it's just
Mr. Tua, you have your interaction.
Yes, that with issues and really talk. Yes,
Well, they can't even be twins. They know you can reach there.
yes, seriously. And I think the relationship with AIT and parents is a very
When
important.
they're building lives, and
Very
God
important,
going to assist you. It's not easy when you have different orientation, description, coming together under one roof. I'm very familiar with it, slightly different because mine was a double establishment where we had about 200 students, really small, trying to become permanent diplomats at the training school. All sort of problems. Medical, police. So you guys are trying, and I believe if you keep up this standard, building a reputation for your school to be what makes the school students who attract the best, you take care of them, everybody will want to come to our school. When my son went to Liberty University in 2001, the school had a population of about 6,000. Today, Liberty University on campus is about 15,000 minus external students. So it's the kind of care you give, and I'm happy the way it's spoken. And the counselor makes me happy, showing concern about their welfare, not just imparting knowledge. If you are comfortable, you are bound to listen to what the lecturer is saying. But when you leave the classroom, you're going to fight your landlord somewhere, you're going to be chasing other things, you'll be derailed. I'm very proud of this school.
Minister, are you okay?
Yes, I'm right. Actually, I only asked because I have not had any complaint from the school,
Yes.
from other schools, but
Yes.
at least if you are not handling their welfare, at least with this complaint, you may be able to
Yes,
do
yes.
something better to excel.
Yes.
At
Fine,
least
yeah.
if we identify schools that are not handling their own welfare,
Yeah.
whenever some people or parents call us that they want to, know about certain schools,
Yes.
that they want to send their own, children, we know what to tell them.
Very good.
Especially accredited
Oh, yeah.
schools,
Our
better
recommend-
schools, or
Yes.
schools that don't take care of the, foreign students. We also tell them about it. So
Yeah.
that is why I ask. Thank
It's
you
very
so much.
important. For me, we gave our state, these are notable people in this country. With this team you see there, it's just part of it. So for us, it's about the reputation of the institution, backed by a reputation of people who have already achieved it internationally. So this, their team, we gave them a 24-hour rule. Student issue should be resolved within 24 hours. There is a way they will check when the complaint was made, who handled it. There's a whole team down there. All they do is to sit down and wait for students to come and say, I have this problem. They stand up and go and see the officer who is supposed to resolve it, and they're monitoring it within 24 hours.
That's a welfare fees.
Or that is a student, that's just student support given from the counselor.
Okay.
Okay, and these are managed by how many people? Four people. That's what they do full time. So for us, as a student for university, yes, you're correct. It's not just what happened in the classroom. If you want to talk about the facilities, the classroom, the learning resources we have for our students, there will not stop it. Because, for example, our students don't have debts. Our fees is the most affordable in the country. So we have put all this together, and now that we have a lot of influx of students from Nigeria, we are on 24-hour notice to make sure that the state gets ready. And also because, nothing else, we're all foreign. So the spirit that